Tuesday, December 18th, 6:30, with our Mayor, Robert Odekirk. Will be led in invocation by Reverend Kurt Hoover from Messiah's Lutheran Church, 400 Hobolt Road.
Thanks, sir. Let's begin with prayer, and at this time, before we begin, let's take a time of silence, a time to remember faithful servant of the city of Joliet, Robert Frazier, 43 years. Let's take some time to remember him in our thoughts. Thank you, Lord, for that servant. Brothers and sisters in Christ, today we seek God's blessing as we gather with thankfulness to bless and dedicate this council to the glory of God. Blessed are you, O Lord of God, King of the universe. You made the whole earth for your glory. All creation praises you, and we lift our voices to join the songs of heaven and earth, of things seen and unseen. Lord, you stretched out the heavens like a curtain. You divided the day from the night, and you appointed the times and the seasons for work and rest, for tearing down and building up. You blessed your people through all generations and guided them in life and death. Abraham and Sarah, Moses and Miriam, Isaiah and all the prophets, Mary, the mother of our Lord, Peter, James, John, and all the apostles, and all the saints and witnesses in your church of ages past, in whom your Spirit spoke and moved. We thank you for the faithfulness in their generation. May we be found faithful in our generation. Lord, we pray, be with us now and bless the fruits of those who labor in this council, in this meeting. Grant us faith to know your gracious purpose in all things, and continue our blessings to us through the bounty of your creation, through your Son, Jesus Christ our Lord, the Holy Spirit, our God and Creator, now and forever. Amen. Amen. Now take this time to pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Pastor.
Thank you, Pastor. Merry Christmas.
Nice job.
Thank you, nice.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Odekirk.
Here.
Councilman Dickinson.
Here.
Councilwoman Gavin is absent this evening. Councilman Girl.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Here.
Councilman Turk.
Here.
First on the agenda under presentations is the introduction of 4 newly appointed deputy police chiefs.
I made it really big, but I still have to put these on. So, Mayor, City Council members, City Manager, Marty Shanahan. Tonight is a great and exciting night for the Joliet Police Department, because tonight we get our command staff back and in place. Just a little history. Last December, our technical services deputy chief retired and was not replaced, and the 3 deputy chiefs were left had to take on more responsibility. And then in July, our deputy chief of administration left and retired, and the 2 deputy chiefs and the chief had to take on more responsibility. And then in August, our operations deputy chief and our chief retired, and it got real lonely real fast for me anyway. So this is a great night. But it didn't take long for the 4 men standing over here to my right to step up and help me in every way possible, and that's why they're here tonight. Our officers, our citizens in the Joliet Police Department should be proud of these 4 gentlemen as they take the role of deputy chiefs tonight. Our police department is going to be moving forward, as it has been, in a very positive direction, and with their help and leadership, the department will continue on its current path as the best police department with the best officers serving the best city, and I truly believe that. It is my honor to introduce to you the 4 new deputy chiefs. I'm going to start with Deputy Chief Mark Reed. Deputy Chief Reed will be in charge of our operations division. Mark is a 24-year veteran of the Joliet Police Department. As a patrol officer, Mark was assigned to our neighborhood-oriented policing team, the tactical unit, the Joliet Narcotics Unit, and the Investigations Division. A vast knowledge there. As a sergeant, Mark was assigned to patrol and investigations, and as a lieutenant, Mark was assigned patrol, and then most recently our Internal Affairs Division. Mark has received numerous awards throughout his career, including Life Saving Award. He has been chosen the Exchange Club Police Officer of the Year twice, in 2001 and 2009, and the VFW Police Officer of the Year twice, in 98 and 2005, so 4 times, which is quite an accomplishment. I'd like to bring Mark up here now, and he can say a few words to you.
Chief said he was going to keep it short, so we got to talk longer to you, but I'm going to keep mine short. I'd like to thank you, Mayor, Council, Chief Al Rochner, for this humbled and honor opportunity, for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The City of Joliet is called the City of Champions. I believe in part it's called the City of Champions because of all the different backgrounds our citizens bring together to work hand in hand with one another. I will continue that tradition of working together to keep our city the City of Champions. I understand community service and the value of community service. Through my experiences in working with the United Way of Will County, the Exchange Club of Joliet, Guardian Angel Community Services, and the Spanish Community Center, I will continue working for the community and building relationships. To those in the community that don't know me or have not had the opportunity to work with me, I look forward to the opportunity to meet and talk with you so that together we can accomplish many great things for this city. I'd like to say in closing that I would not be here today without the love and support of my wife Melissa, my daughter Isabel, my son Ryan, my many family members who came here tonight, my mother-in-law Alice, my best friend Pat, my nephew Kevin O'Boyle, my brother-in-law Kevin O'Boyle, and to the friends that I have standing here and in the back. I want to thank them all. And I want to say to the great men and women of the Joliet Police Department, I'm proud to serve you because you put your lives on the line every day to serve and protect the great citizens of Joliet. Thank you very much.
Good luck, you guys. All right. Next is Deputy Chief Michael Bates. Michael will be Deputy Chief of Technical Services for us. Michael is a 22-year veteran of the Joliet Police Department. As a patrol officer, Michael was assigned to our neighborhood-oriented policing team, our tactical unit, and also our investigations division. As a sergeant, Michael was assigned patrol and investigations. And as a lieutenant, Michael was assigned patrol and most recently investigations. Michael has received several awards throughout his career, including 3 Unit Merit Awards and an Officer of the Month. Michael?
Thank you, Chief. I will attempt to be brief. Brevity is the spice of speeches. Mr. Mayor, members of the council, Mr. Shanahan, Mr. Regis, I'd just like to say I'm humbled, I am honored, and I'm privileged to be standing here today. And I look forward to working with each of you and my colleagues in pushing the Joliet Police Department forward in a progressive and professional fashion, all the while providing unfailing public service to the citizens of Joliet. I could take a moment to thank my wife, my children, Austin, Kendall, and my wife's name is Jamie, for their unwavering support, the long days and nights. And with that, I also thank members of the Joliet Police Department who define dedication and service. I'm proud to serve with them every day. They have shaped who I am. With that, I will yield back to the Chief. Thank you.
Next is Deputy Chief John Perona. He's a 30-year veteran of the Joliet Police Department. John will be the Deputy Chief of Administration. As a patrol officer, John was assigned also to our neighborhood-oriented policing team. As a sergeant, John was assigned as our training coordinator for the police department, and most recently, day shift patrol. John has received numerous awards, including the Herman Goldstein Problem Solving Award in 1993, Life Saving Award, and the Martin S. Murin Medal. John?
Mayor, City Council, Chief, Mr. Shanahan, Mr. Regis, I'm blessed at this opportunity. I can't say in my wildest dreams that this would have come true, but we just lost Bob Frazier, and I remember sitting in Bob's office one day, and he says, you know what, I'm not going to be happy until you have sergeant stripes. And I made that come true for Bob, and I know that he's smiling down on me right now, and he couldn't be more proud. I've been blessed to work for the city since I started when I was 21 years old. I left Lewis University, came here, and this was my dream. I understand what public service is. I come from a service-oriented family. Talk about the city of Stone and Steel. I had a grandfather who worked at the old Carnegie Steel Mill, and then he went to work for Caterpillar. I had another grandfather that spent some time working at the old Joliet Correctional Center. My family is rooted in this community. My wife is a nurse. She understands service. Our children are service-oriented in their careers. My oldest daughter, Alexis, is a nurse. My son, Dominic, is a firefighter paramedic. My daughter, Annalise, is studying to become a nurse. My son, Dustin, has aspirations to be a naval aviator and attending the United States Naval Academy. And our youngest daughter, Amelia, 13. She's considering becoming a teacher, which again is service-oriented. I thank those that I have worked with, my mentors who have worked with me and guided me in the path that I am today. The ladies and gentlemen in the back row standing, the one thing that I'm going to miss the most is working on the street hand in hand with them, but I will do the best that I can for them upstairs in administration. And of course, I'd be remiss if I don't thank my parents who are also in attendance, and friends. Thank you.
And Deputy Chief Darrell Gavin, a 20-year veteran of the Joliet Police Department. He will be Deputy Chief of Investigations. In patrol, Darrell was assigned also to the Neighborhood Oriented Policing Team and Investigations Division. So if you guys see a trend there, it's what we're all about is neighborhood policing. Every one of them is served in there. And as a sergeant, Darrell was also assigned patrol. He was assigned to our Criminal Intelligence Unit and also Investigation Unit. And most recently, he was our Public Affairs Sergeant. Darrell has received numerous awards, including the Exchange Club Police Officer of the Year in 2009, and also the VFW Police Officer of the Year in 2004. Darrell.
He tricked me. He said I wouldn't have to do a speech tonight, so I'm just going to have to do it off the cuff. So, Mayor, Council, Marty, and Chris, I really appreciate, I'm humbled at this opportunity. It's been an incredible journey. It's a Joliet Police Department. I'm a first-generation police officer, and when I signed that dotted line, I had no idea where my career was going to take me. And I've had some great partners and some incredible mentors throughout my years there. I've never had a reason to doubt when I joined 20 years ago. Without that mentorship from so many individuals throughout my patrol career in NOPT, in investigations, and then finally in administration, there's no way that I'd ever be here. But that's one of the things that sets our department apart, I feel, from other departments, is that there are so many people in a department that are willing to guide you and mentor you to achieve the heights that you can. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say anything to those guys in the back, because a lot of those men and women in the back I've worked with. A lot of them I worked with in investigations, and they're like family to me, and family's a big thing. And I consider the Joliet Police Department my second family. And I consider the citizens of Joliet my extended family. And with family, you help them when they need help, and you protect them, and you serve them. And that's the oath that we take as a police officer. And that means the world to me. It's in my heart, it's in my soul, and I'll continue to do that in my new position. I don't take it lightly that you've granted me this opportunity, and I won't let you down. I would be remiss also if I didn't thank my family right here, especially my wife Julia, for all the support and love that she's given over the years. My two sons, Shay and Kai, my mom and dad, and then my brother Chuck, my Uncle John in the back, cousin Chris. They've always had my back, just like my family on the police department. And as the mayor, of course, knows, when you're a police officer, that support is priceless. You need it. You see things that no human being should have to see, and you have to get through it some way. And your family, your peers, they get you through. So with that, thank you.
I think it's picture time, right?
Congrats again. Good luck. Congrats.
Didn't you just get married on New Year's Eve not too long ago? You were there.
Congratulations. Colored jacket.
Same color as the mayor.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Got the right hairstyle, though. We got the right hairstyle.
See, the guys always say,
They shave theirs, yours is natural.
Wait a minute. I should be by the shortcuts.
Yeah, Terry, just get out of the picture. Family. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
Congratulations.
How are you?
Except they're gonna be gone, so it doesn't matter.
Sorry I couldn't make it. I was in court. Good crew? Good. Thank you.
Cleared off pretty quick.
Yeah, even all kinds of. Good.
Tomorrow swearing.
We should Joe to do something.
There won't be anybody left after they go.
Yeah.
Right.
He's part of the problem.
Joe's moving up. What is up with this?
Okay. Next is, under Mayor, is Mayor Odekirk appointments.
None.
None this evening. Move on to the approval of the agenda. It's recommended the agenda be approved as written with the following change. We're going to vote on Council Memo 664-18, which is the approval of the budget, first under ordinances. So it's just being moved up to be the first ordinance that will pass this evening. Is there a
Is your
motion?
mic working?
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
I just thought. So is there a motion to approve the agenda as written with voting on Council Memo 664-18 as the first ordinance?
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson. Councilman Girl. Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk. Motion carried. Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone present that would like to speak on an agenda item this evening? Seeing none. Next is Mayor Pro Tem. It's recommended Councilwoman Coleman serve as Mayor Pro Tem for the term January 1st, 2019 through March 31st, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
I got to vote on it too? I thought I could just second it. Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
It's an affirmative.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Absolutely aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Mayor, don't go on vacation.
Council committee reports, Finance Committee report.
Mayor, the Finance Committee, comprised of Councilman Girl, Councilman Mudrum, met this evening at 5:30 to review the following agenda items. First thing was the renewal of group health, dental, vision, and life insurance program, and I'd like Councilman Mudrum to give a report on that.
The Blue Cross report is one of these somewhat double-edged swords. As everyone knows, it's a numbers game, and the health of the city is excellent. So we're up 56 bodies, not that we have 56 new employees, but as everybody knows, retirees can stay under the plan if they choose, and we replace them with active employees. So there's 56 more units here. We are with Blue Cross, I think as everyone knows. Blue Cross has the largest discount in the industry at this time. It's averaging about 61% credit on all ongoing bills that we have, and the other end is our gross rebate on our drugs is up another 40%. So we're doing as well as we can, but the numbers are increasing, the cost is increasing because of the numbers we have. That's all I have.
Thank you. Next is the Joliet Police and Fire Pension Actuarial Reports as of January 1st, 2018. The contributions for police and fire pension obligations will be just over $30 million this year, 13 for fire, about 17 for police. This is the required contribution to keep us to our goal of being fully funded in 2044. So it is a couple of $1 million higher than last year. However, the amounts I just mentioned are in the budget and in the levy that we are adopting for the budget this evening. The next two items were the Riverwalk Home financials for 2018 and the 2019 Riverwalk Homes Evergreen Terrace annual budget for 2019. I'd like Ken Mahowich to just give a brief overview of that.
Thank you, Chairman Turk. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just want to give you a brief overview of what we talked about discussing Riverwalk Homes. First, we looked at the October financials, so we have 10 months of financials now. As I mentioned to the committee, when Holston took over management last year, they basically only had about a month or so of actual experience before they prepared their budget for this year, so there are adjustments they've made. But overall, things have been going smoothly. For this year, the first 10 months, the income is a little bit lower than expected. It's about $193,000, but again, that's because they were working off of information given by the previous owners, and they're making that adjustment for 2019 budget. About 91% of the income comes from HUD. The other 9% comes from the tenants who pay on a varied schedule, depending upon what HUD requires of them. On the expense side for the first 10 months, the payroll and related were less than expected. They didn't hire everybody to work there that they originally anticipated to. They've been hiring people as they've gone through 2018, so I think in 2019 we'll see that go up a little bit. But the offset of that is that for 2018 they were using temporary services, so they're hiring some of those temps as employees as they go into the new year. One of the things that they had to adjust for was their utilities, their water and sewer bills. Those were a little bit higher than anticipated, so they've adjusted for those. Under maintenance and repairs, they were a little bit over. One of the things was cleaning. I know back earlier in the year we talked about they hired a new maintenance company to come in and do the cleaning, the janitorial work. They subsequently were unhappy with that second firm, so they're replacing them with in-house employees where they feel like they have a much better control, can control costs better. Just a few other things that should mention is that I know in this year the management fee is 6%. It looks like it's over budget, but that's because there was a deferral from last year's 2017 that came into place, so it's right at budget. And overall, it's probably going to produce about $800,000 roughly in income is where it's projected for 2018. In 2019, the budget is very similar. Again, I mentioned they've rebudgeted their income to be to where they expect it now. They do budget 4 units per month of vacancy. There's 356 units, so that's a very small amount. It's not because they don't have people in waiting. They do. They have about a list of 500 to 600, I've been told, but that's just turnover time to keep and clean the apartments in between people who are leaving and those who are arriving. Again, they're moving their janitorial in-house. They did budget a little bit more for security, about $60,000. The reason for that was they had met with the police department, Chief Benton and his staff earlier in there, if you remember. They hired a new security firm. They seem to be having great success, and they also supplement that with our officers. So that's something that they've been very attuned to working with our police department. Other than that, they've budgeted an increase for real estate taxes. They do that for all their properties, and I'd be glad to answer any questions if you have them.
Any questions?
I have one question, Mayor.
Yes.
Ken, I'm sorry, I missed it. On the turnover of the apartments?
Yes.
How long does it normally take them?
Well, they're budgeting about 4 apartments per month, the equivalent of 4, so I guess it must be about a month or so to do that, but they're figuring about 4 families each month on average.
So about a month for them?
Yeah,
when
I
they go
think
vacant
that's it.
to when it occupied again?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ken.
Happy holidays, everyone.
And then the other items, monthly finance reports, personnel summary, travel expense, and invoices paid were all reviewed and found to be in order. That concludes the report.
Thank you. Marty, one quick question.
Yes.
The 800,000 or so a year that Evergreen's going to clear, is that money going into the general fund?
Yes.
Thank you.
No. Evergreen Terrace Fund.
To pay back the Evergreen Terrace Fund?
Yes.
Thank you.
Prison Committee report.
The prison committee, we met Monday, December the 10th. The committee, myself, Councilman Dickinson, and the chair, Councilman Gavin, who's not here this evening, we met here in the council chamber. and I just lost it. Steve is going to give a brief understanding of the one agenda item that we talked about, the professional service contract for a conditions analysis and a structural assessment of Prison West. The committee heard the information from staff concerning the companies that will be doing the analysis, and we voted for approval of the contract to be moved to the full council. Steve, can you?
Sure. Thank you,
better
Council.
than what I can do? Thank you.
Some of the council may remember back in, I think it was in April, or certainly in the spring, the city had gone through a process of applying for a grant from the Joliet Department of Natural Resources, basically to get some structural analysis on some of the, some of the buildings within the Prison West structure that we feel will have some future occupancy and some tourism interest. Council did approve that. It was a matching grant. It was a 70-30 grant, which had 30% local, 70% state. Council went ahead, passed the resolution, and at the time it was understood that the city commitment was basically about $12,600. So we went through a process. We identified a number of qualified vendors within the Chicago area. 8 people, or 8 firms submitted pretty significant proposals. We had our internal review committee narrow it down to 3 that were probably, closest in terms of historic structures and a good balance of architectural, engineering, and historic. And following that narrowing to 3, we settled in on 1, did some renegotiation of scope of service, and a recommendation was made to the prison committee to go with the firm of Klein and Hoffman. Grand total contract is $74,000, and the way the finances would work, $51,840 would be paid by the state. That $12,600 commitment that the city made would also apply, and the museum is going to utilize about $9,600 of some of the monies that we've raised for prison restoration to pay the gap. So recommendation was made. We think the firm is going to be great. They're really focusing on 6 areas of the Prison West. We've got the administration building, the east cell block, the west cell block, the chapel, the hospital, and then the powerhouse smokestack. So there are plenty of buildings we don't think at this point have, the historical significance to really spend money on them at this point. Obviously, we have to prioritize due to the fact that there are limited resources, and certainly it's a big prison, so there's a lot out there to kind of get a handle on. So that recommendation was made, and that is on the agenda for later today.
Thank you, Steve. Steve, did you mention the tower? I know that it came up.
Did what?
The tower is in the buildings that you just mentioned.
The stack, you mean the stack?
The stack.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, the
okay.
powerhouse
I didn't
stack.
hear you. Okay, I call it the tower, you call it the stack. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Stack.
Public Service Committee report.
The Public Service met yesterday here at City Hall in the Executive Conference Room. In attendance was Councilman Dickinson, Councilwoman Gavin, and myself. All the items that are on the agenda from the committee meeting are on the council agenda tonight. We went through all of them. It was mainly change orders. Frankly, it was final payments and, final change orders on most of the items. The only 2 things I would point out is it's going to be interesting and kind of exciting when it comes to snow removal with the 2 new trucks that we're doing that will accommodate 22 feet of plowing instead of 12 feet of plowing. If it works out as well as Jim Trisna and his team thinks, we're looking to do that in the future with more trucks because it will speed up a lot of the snow removal. And the Forest Preserve District in the city of Joliet showed again what 2 elected bodies or 2 governing bodies, when they work together, we're going to be using some of their property, the long and the short of it, to store spoils and other things to do with the construction of the interchange for the IE Bridge, Hobolt Road Bridge. And we're going to leave it in better shape than we found it, and it's going to save us probably, if not hundreds of thousands, at least tens of thousands. Probably hundreds of thousands, Jim? of trying to dispose of it in a more traditional way or store it in a more traditional way. So it was a great partnership between the Forest Preserve and the city of Joliet. Those are the two bright spots. Other than that, we found everything else to be in order. Every item was voted on unanimously and sent forth with a recommendation for approval to the full council. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you.
I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, approval of the minutes. It's recommended the minutes of the pre-council meeting held on December 3rd and the minutes of the council meeting held on December 4th, 2018 stand approved as recorded. Invoices paid report. It's recommended this report be received and placed on file. Council Memo 651-18, position vacancies. It's recommended the city manager be authorized to fill one winter intern position in the Public Utilities Department, 2 police patrol officers, 2 police lieutenants, 2 police sergeants, and any subsequent vacancies which may occur. Council Memo 652-18, regular payroll for August 17th through August 30th, 2018, $3,398,837.39. Council Memo 653-18, regular payroll for August 31st through September 13th, 2018, $3,452,320.51. Council Memo 654-18, regular payroll for September 14th through September 27th, 2018, $3,518,337.23. Council Memo 655-18, regular payroll for September 28th through October 11th, 2018, $3,310,489.08. Council Memo 656-18, regular payroll for October 12th through October 25th, 2018, $3,618,018.12. Council Memo 657-18, regular payroll for October 26th through November 8th, 2018, $3,354,068.46. Council Memo 658-18, regular payroll for November 9th through November 22nd, 2018, $3,520,738.56. It's recommended said regular payrolls be approved. And Council Memo 659-18, renewal of group health, dental, vision, and life insurance programs. It's recommended the city manager renew the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois PPO medical, prescription drug, dental, and vision insurance plan for all eligible employees and retirees. It's recommended said consent agenda items be approved.
So moved.
Yes.
We didn't approve the payroll before?
No.
Oh. Thank you.
You know, excuse me, talking to Ms. Godati, there was a change in the payroll person, that individual doing the payroll, and so I took the new payroll person to get up to speed to approve them at this meeting.
Thank you.
Councilman Turk motion to approve the consent agenda items. Do I have a second?
Second.
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman? Councilman Turk?
Aye?
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under ordinances and resolutions, first will be Council Memo 664-18. So 664-18 is ordinances approving the 2019 annual budgets for the City of Joliet, the Joliet Public Library, and the Foreign Fire Insurance Board. This will include 2 separate votes. The first vote is for an ordinance approving the 2019 annual budget for the City of Joliet without a discretionary subsidy for the Will County Metropolitan Exposition and Auditorium Authority and without discretionary spending for the Joliet Prison, but includes also an ordinance approving the 2019 annual budget for the Joliet Public Library and an ordinance approving the 2019 annual budget for the Foreign Fire Insurance Board.
So moved.
We voted on A?
We're voting on
On
A,
A.
and we'll vote on B separate. So A is the budget, including the budget for the public library and the Foreign Fire Insurance Board, and then B will be a vote to include the Rialto funding and the Joliet prison. So the 2 of them together will be all-encompassing of the
Okay.
budget.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Motion carried. So item B is an ordinance to include in the 2019 annual budget for the City of Joliet a discretionary subsidy for the Will County Metropolitan Exposition and Auditorium Authority and the Joliet Prison.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Since I'm on the board for the museum, I think it's a conflict if I vote for the prison monies, but I will vote for the Rialto money.
So you,
So how-
We
how
have
do
to
I do
amend
I was
that
going to
if that's
say,
what you wanna
we'll have
do.
to amend the
So,
vote.
I was
Or
advised
you
to do
would-
that.
Or would you like to abstain
Then
from
I'll
this?
abstain. I'll abstain then.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
They changed the
Councilman Hug.
bylaws.
No,
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Mayor, if I may explain
Yes.
too, I've become they've changed the bylaws, and the liaison is now a voting member on the board, so that's why I have to abstain.
Okay, thank you.
Moving back to Council Memo 661-18, ordinances for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2018 and ending December 31st, 2018, in and for the 1996 Joliet Special Service Area Number 14, Joliet City Center, and 2009 Joliet Special Service Area Number 7, Park Hill Subdivision. It's recommended said ordinances be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
aye,
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 662-18, ordinances for the levying and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2018 and ending December 31st, 2018, in and for the City of Joliet, including the Joliet Public Library. It's recommended said ordinances be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
aye,
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 663-18, ordinances for the levy and assessment of taxes for 2017 Special Service Areas Neighborhood Improvement Program. It's recommended said ordinances be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
aye,
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 664-18 was previously approved. Council Memo 667-18, an ordinance approving a special use permit to allow a massage business within an existing tenant space located at 1736 Essington Road, Unit G. It's recommended this item be tabled to the January 16th council meeting.
so moved,
Move to table.
Been motioned and seconded.
January what day?
January,
15th.
I have 16th, is it the 15th?
15th. Tuesday, right?
Correction, it's January 15th.
all right, I will make a motion to table it to that date.
The motion, is there a second to table Council Memo 667-18 to January 15th? Been motioned and seconded to table Council Memo 667-18 to the January 15th council meeting. Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye,
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 668-18, an ordinance declaring certain properties as public nuisances. It's recommended said ordinances be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Yes,
Hey, quick question. Marty, the one of the properties, I believe on Eastern.
Yes.
It said the owner doesn't want the property anymore.
Yes.
So, what, and it was something about it being historical, or what about, something about the history of it? What's gonna happen with the property? I mean, if the owner don't want it, is he gonna give it to the city? I mean, what would be the fast track to do something with the property?
Mr. Jackson, can you maybe address?
Sure, that is still unclear. We're not certain that there's not a bank involved. If that is the case, then there's, foreclosure. In terms of the local landmark status, that doesn't change with just a declaration of public nuisance. If it moves forward through the process and becomes a potential demolition, then it would have to go before the Joliet Historic Preservation Commission.
Thank you. Thanks.
Been motion and seconded to approve Council Memo 668-18, which is an ordinance declaring certain properties as public nuisances. Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 669-18, an ordinance proposing the establishment of the 2019 Special Service Area Number 1, Logan Avenue, Washington Street to 2nd Avenue. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Girl. Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 670-18, an ordinance amending the 2018 annual budget for the City of Joliet to purchase of 2 tandem axle 6x4 dump trucks with wing plow and plow accessories. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motion seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Motion carried. Under Resolutions, Council Memo 672-18, a resolution authorizing the submittal of the Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, CAPER, to the Department of Housing and Urban Development. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So move.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 673-18, a resolution authorizing the acquisition of PIN 300714-101-007-0000 and PIN 300714-101-008-0000. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Now, Mary, could we just have a brief explanation for people that are watching at home? They don't know what that is.
Sure. Marty?
Sure, that's the property that is near the city's Water and Service Center at 921 East Washington. So this is an expansion of field operations at this location. It's a total of 1.31 acres for the 2 parcels.
Mayor, to clarify too, Councilwoman, it's the old Joliet bowling alley that was torn down and still has a sign up.
Washington Lanes.
Are we
Washington
preserving the
Lanes, it was
sign?
called, right?
Are we preserving the sign? It's an neon
We
sign.
talked about.
Oh,
Some people are-
seriously?
Some people are interested in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it goes on eBay, who knows? But yeah, that's the old, and there's a lot of
Washington Lanes.
foundations, not foundation, but slabs and stuff, but not a lot of buildings. So it's a good move to expand, and there's really no demolition, other than that sign.
Councilman Hug moved to approve Council Memo 673-18. Do we have a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Carried. Council Memo 674-18, a resolution approving an agreement between the City of Joliet and the Forest Preserve District of Will County for services related to the Hollywood Road, Hobart Road, I-80, US Route 6, interchange modification and roadway reconstruction project. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So move.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Show me as abstaining, please.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Motion carried. Under bids and contracts, award of contracts, Council Memo 676-18, award a contract for VMware software and services. Council Memo 677-18, request for authorization to execute a customer work agreement and approve payment number 1 to ComEd for the Stryker Avenue Streetlight Improvements Project. Council Memo 678-18, award a professional services contract for conditions analysis and structural assessment of Prison West. Council Memo 679-18, request for authorization to purchase water metering equipment. Council Memo 680-18, award a contract for police department laptops. And Council Memo 681-18, award a contract for fire department laptops. It's recommended Council Memos 676-18 through 681-18 be approved.
I also move. I have a question on 677. Jim, is the lights on Stryker, will that be installed relatively soon, or does it have to wait for spring, or?
Actually, no, these are ComEd lights. First of all, we're going to install them on Stryker from McDonough South down
Right.
Interstate 80. And I've been told ComEd is looking at maybe installing these possibly during January, February, weather dependent. If not, coming this spring.
Thank you.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve Council Memo 676-18 through 681-18. Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under amendments, change orders, and payments. Council Memo 683-18, approve Amendment Number 1 to the Professional Services Agreement for the Water Distribution Model and Master Plan Project. Council Memo 684-18, approve change order number 2 and payment request number 7 and final for the Marycrest Phase 3A Water Main Improvements Project. Council Memo 685-18, approve change order number 2 and payment request number 6 and final for the Marycrest Phase 3B Water Main Improvements Project. Council Memo 686-18, approve change order number 2 and payment request number 5 and final for the Rayner Park Phase 1 Water Main Improvements Project. Council Memo 687-18, approve change order number 2 and payment request number 6 and final for the Schreiber Avenue Water Main Improvements Project. Council Memo 688-18, approve change order number 2 and payment request number 5 and final for the Jefferson Street Essington Road Water Main Improvements Project. Council Memo 689-18, approve change order number 1 to the Professional Services Agreement for Pre-Treatment Program Assistance 2018. Council Memo 690-18, approve change order number 1 for the Downtown Sanitary and Storm Sewer Improvement Project. Council Memo 691-18, approve payment for Asset Management Work Order System Annual Maintenance Public Utilities 2018-2019. It's recommended Council Memos 683-18 through 691-18 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the city manager's report.
Thank you. So with our 4 new deputy chiefs, if you're adding it up, that's 96 years of experience we have with new deputy chiefs. So think about that. 1 year from now, we'll have, hopefully, deputy chiefs with 100 years of combined experience. Next, I want to mention that our truck enforcement unit has been extremely busy this year as a relatively small number of officers in a specialized unit, and they've been enforcing truck laws on our roads and have written over $1 million in tickets. Now, this isn't all returned to the city due to court costs and et cetera, but it does let the trucking companies know that Joliet is serious about truck enforcement. And thanks to the backing of the mayor and the city council, approximately 3 years ago, the city implemented its first overweight truck permit process. That program itself has netted the city almost $900,000. So if the trucking company does not secure a permit, they run a greater risk of being ticketed with a fine well in excess of the cost of the permit, and the numbers actually bear that out. If you compare the 2017 monthly permit fees with the 28 monthly permit fees, the previous 9 months all had more permit fees than a year ago. So November this year netted more permit fees than November of last year. Same with October, September, August, the previous 9 months. And staying on the topic of truck enforcement, a few months ago, the police department expanded their truck enforcement program. This idea was proposed earlier, but it was not implemented, and it just was implemented. This expansion has been a success with a net to the city of over $30,000 in just over 1 month's time. Next, the first full-fledged in-house adjudication hearings were held this past month. So after years of just being an idea, it is now coming to fruition. Again, this is thanks to the mayor and the city council who supported the concept, passed the ordinances and contracts, and made this all possible. Before I came to Joliet, I saw many other communities and their adjudication process, and I see the model that has been set up in Joliet as a model that other communities should likely emulate. Next, if you want to look at holiday lights and not spend 3 hours in traffic like you would have had if you went to the Brookfield Zoo last Saturday evening, and that was a friend of mine says they were going to the zoo, spent 3 hours in traffic, never even made it, or try to buy scalp tickets to the Morton Arboretum this Saturday or Sunday, since it's sold out, go to the City of Joliet, cityofjoliet.info/residence/holiday. Just go to our website. There's been 8,700 plus views on our City of Joliet website with over 50 houses. It's a pinpoint on a map, and you can track your own course across the city and see the best light displays. Finally, a clarification from yesterday's meeting. All public participation, whether it is speaking under citizens to be heard on agenda items, which is section 225C1 of the city code, public comments on non-agenda items, which is also in section 225C1 of the city code, or public hearings, which is in section 225C4 of the city code. All three of those public participation matters are guided by the adoption of the procedures set forth in section 225C2, which discusses the rules of decorum, including the 4-minute limit, section 225C3, which discusses groups addressing the council, and section 225C5, which indicates the public does not have the right to speak at closed session meetings. And as a reminder, and I know I've said it a number of times before, 4 minutes isn't enough. Members of the public are, they can always submit something in writing. Thank you.
Thank you. Marty, good job with the holiday lights. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback about that. It was a nice little addition. I think a lot of Joliet families are enjoying that this year.
Okay, thank you. That's you too.
Next is new business, not for final action or recommendation.
Business?
Nothing.
I don't know if this would be new business, Mayor, but Marty, I know that our land use legislative committee, I was just wondering, was there any update on the single-family rentals? I know we'll probably be having a meeting.
Yeah,
sometime.
we've actually had a couple meetings since then.
Marty and I had a meeting with some residents. Then last Friday, I had a meeting with the gentleman with the Landlords Association and with some residents, and we talked for a while, and we did find some common ground, and I'm anticipating to have a draft of something, and it's not going to be the comprehensive ordinance that people are fighting for, but it is an agreement, it is a compromise, and it's mutually agreed upon between the parties, so we should be able to take a step forward in the very near future and keep working on other things after that. So I'm really doing my best to move things along on that front.
Okay, good. That sounds good, positive.
Yep.
Moving forward. Thank you. Thanks, man.
Nothing.
Yeah?
No.
Next is public comments. Is there anyone that would like to speak under public comments this evening? Seeing none, we did receive a request for a brief closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel?
Mayor and council
Oh,
comments?
I'm sorry, I skipped, I apologize for that. Mayor and council comments are next.
I'd just like to wish all the city employees a Merry Christmas and a very happy and prosperous New Year. Same to all the residents in the city of Joliet. This year's been a great year and look forward to 2019.
Just like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
First, I wanted to thank Marty and all the directors and staff that brought us the balanced budget with a $300,000 projected surplus. I'm very excited about this. Maybe I don't have much of a life. I'm very excited about it. Other than that, I'd like to say Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all the residents of Joliet and beyond. And since we won't meet again until after the first of the year, you know, happy New Year and the best wishes and blessings for your families on the new year.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and have a safe holiday.
I'll stay with the group. Merry Christmas, prosperous New Year. Be safe.
Okay, I got it covered. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy New Year to everyone and to my colleagues, and a safe New Year's for everyone. And be careful with the holidays. People have depression, and so look out for your neighbor, look out for your family, and if you notice anything difficult that's not normal for them, give a call, and there is help out there now. So very difficult time. There's a lot of suicides going on this time of year, and if you can prevent it, doesn't look right, smell right, make a call. Other than that, thank you, and a blessed New Year to all of you.
Just Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to the residents, to my colleagues up here, and to city staff and employees for their dedication and service to the citizens of Joliet this past year.
A couple items. A couple weeks ago, the Race Foundation, which is Chicagoland Speedway Run, Scott Paddock and his staff, they had a luncheon. Councilman Mudgeman, I know you were there. This was to hand out the checks for the charity event that was held in the summer when we had the drag racing. I was fortunate enough, I won my race, so $2,000 was awarded to the Miracle League of Joliet. So thank you, Scott Paddock and staff, for the ongoing commitment that they make to our community. Yesterday, I was invited to Isaac Singleton School to visit with the third graders, and I was grilled by some tough questions from those kids. But it was a very nice visit. Thank you to the principal and staff at Isaac Singleton. And then today we had a ribbon cutting in downtown Joliet. Illinois Marine Towing was here to announce the opening of new offices in the old Catholic Charities building. They were in the second floor of that building. Thank you, John and Jessica Bays, for their continued commitment to downtown. It was a very, very impressive outfit out of New Orleans that has relocated partially to Joliet. Lieutenant Governor Sanguinetti was also present, so thank you, Chamber of Commerce and Illinois Marine Towing. And then finally, wish everyone a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Thank you, staff, for a year of hard work. I know we were shorthanded in some areas, and thanks everyone for chipping in. I'm looking forward to a very prosperous 2019. Thank you.
Just a reminder that the next council meeting will be held January 14th for the pre-council meeting and January 15th, 2019. Is there a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, land acquisition or conveyance, pending or threatened litigation, after which the meeting will be adjourned?
So moved. Second.
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudgeon?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
I don't know, yeah.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Motion carried.
24th.